everyone, we are back again with our latest video on SQL tutorial by Ibcacho Groups, and this is day 9 set 0.1 of 30-day SQL interview question series, and this particular video is getting recorded on 7th of May 2025. So without any delay, let's move on to the first question and check what we have today. So first of all, here we are going to resolve the query based questions first, and then after we will move on to the theoretical part. Okay, now first question, so how to write a query to find teachers with the same first name. So basically we have already created a teachers table in our database, and that we will use for this particular set. Okay, now move on to SSMS and check what the teachers table contains. So here you can see we have the teachers table in our SQL interview database. Now open a new query window, paste this question, and then first select star from the teachers table. Okay, so select star from teachers table. Okay, now execute this. So here you can see we have teacher ID, first name, last name, hire date, salary, department, and manager ID. Okay. Now what the question is telling? So the question is telling like how to write a query to find teachers with same first name. So we need the record of those teachers who have the same first name. So for this we need to use the subquery approach. Okay, and basically if you want to deep dive into subquery, then we already have a detailed video on subquery on our channel. That link you will find in our video description. So the query for this particular question will be like select star from teachers, and then where the subquery part will come, where first name in the subquery will come here. So what will be the subquery? Select first name from teachers, and then group by first name having count of first name greater than 1. Okay, this here only we will take greater than 1, and this is the final query that you need to provide to the interviewer for this particular question. So here what we are doing, so here we have written a subquery. What it is returning? So it is returning those first names whose count is 1, more than 1. Okay, and then in the outer query what we are finding, the all result related to that particular first names which have more than 1 count. So first of all execute the subquery and check the result set, and then we will execute the final query. So here you can see we are getting the name John. So John has multiple first names. Okay, and this is the name that is shared by multiple teachers as first name. Now execute the final query, and then we will check the output what we are getting. So execute this. So here you can see we are getting John Doe has and John Smith. So both are sharing same first name. Now move on to the next question. Okay, so next what we have, the second question, write a query to list all teachers with more than 1825 days of experience. Okay, so basically we need to check those teachers who have more than 1825 days of experience. So here we have a column which is hire date, and so from hire date we will find out those teachers who are available in this particular department for more than 1825 days. Okay, means we will compare the hire date with the get date. Okay, so how to write the query for this? Select star from teachers, and then in the where condition what will come? So this is a very good question. So where hire date should be less than what, 5 years passed from the get date. So for that what we need to use? We need to use the date add function, and for date and time function already we have created a detailed video that you can check, and that video link you will find in the video description. So here hire date should be less than date add and then days. So how many days we need to add? Day comma, not days, date add day, and then minus 1825 days, comma, from where? From get date. So hire date is in data type, you can check here. So run this particular first query first. So here you can see hire date is in date, so we need to convert get date into date because it will be returning get date time data type. Okay, so we need to cast it into date first. So cast get date get date, and get date is providing you the current system time. Okay, now cast get date as date, as date. Okay, and this is the final query that you need to provide to the interviewer for this particular question. Now when we execute this, then you can see all the higher date are before 5 years or before 1825 days. Okay, so basically 1825 days is the calculation of 5 years also. So if you consider 365 days as a year, then when you multiply it with 5, then you will get 1825 days. Okay, now move on to the next question. So next what we have, so next is the write a query to list all teachers working under the same manager, manager ID 101. So this is a very basic question, and these can be asked to the beginners only. Okay, experienced, I think everyone who is experienced must know this question. Okay, now move on and check, paste this particular question. So what we need to find, one second. So we need to find out, write a query to list all teachers working under the same manager ID 101. So here just you need to write a where clause in the select star statement. So select star from teachers first we will do. So TEA teachers, execute this particular query first, and then what we need here, you can see manager ID 101 is this, and we need to find out those employees who are working under this manager ID. Okay, so select star from teachers where manager ID is equals to 101. Okay, and this is very simple question, and this is the only solution that you need to provide to the interviewer for this particular question. Now execute this and check the result set. So here you can see all the employees have the same manager ID, which is 101. Okay, now move on to the next question. So next what we have, next we have the fourth question. So what it is telling, so how to find the top 3 highest paid teachers in each department. So this is a very good question. Here we need to find out the list of top 3 highest paid teachers in each department. So this is also a basic question, but means it can be asked to expert also. Around 4 to 5 years of experience people can get this question in their interviews. Okay. Now how to resolve this? We will check. So for this we will use advanced SQL, which is Windows function. So row number function we will use, and then we will first rank each of the top 3 highest salaries and then find out that result from the query. Okay, so write the query for this. So select name, so select star, do the select star from which table, so from teachers table, and then comma, what we need to provide here, row number function we are going to use, and row number function is a Windows function. Now row number, for Windows function we have a detailed video on our channel. If you need more details on the Windows function and how row number is working, rank is working, dense rank is working, then you can visit to that particular video. And we have also provided multiple question sets, like day 4 set 2, or yesterday also we have loaded one set like day 8 set 1. Those two sets you can go after going through the full video on Windows function, because those two sets will contain all the questions related to Windows function, and there we have covered everything that you need to know about Windows function, because Windows function is a very important function that you need to use while you are going to work also. Okay, so select star from teachers table, and then row number function we are adding. So over, and then what we need, department wise top 3 salary we want. So we need to partition our result set, partition by department, and then order our result set by order by salary, and salary in descending order, because we need top 3 highest paid employees, highest paid teachers, so DESC. Okay, and now mark it as rank, RNK rank. Now this particular query we will use as a derived table, and then from the outside query we will extract our result. So first of all write the full query, and then we will check the result one by one. So select here we will take the first name only, select first name, st first name, comma, we will check for the salary, and then we will check for the rank. Okay, these 3 columns we need. From where we need, from 1 second. So from the below query we need, okay, and we will make this particular query as a derived table. Now under the parenthesis write like a, and which records we want. So we want where rank is less than 4, because top 3 salaries we want, okay. Now this is the final query. So here rank is missing, now rnk, and this is the final query that you need to provide to the interviewer for this particular question. Now execute this first, and then we will explain this to you. So here you can see we have first names, and these are the salaries, top 3 salaries as per the department. So department also we will take department. Department is mandatory. Why we missed that? Now when we execute this, and this is the final query now. So here you can see for chemistry department, these are the top 3 salaries. For maths department, these are the top 3 salaries. For physics department, these are the top 3 salaries. Okay. Now what it is doing? So basically here the rank number is ranking all the salaries based on descending order department wise in a rank like 1 2 3 4 it is providing. And then what we need the top 3, so we can mention like salary means that one rank less than 3. If we need 4, then we can mention like salary less than 5. Okay, now move on to the next question. So this is a very good question. Okay, if you don't understand any question, let us know in the comment section. We will try to make you understand at the comment, or if needed we will create a separate video for that particular query. Now the next question, so fifth question, how to write a query to delete teachers who have been in the institute for more than 15 years. So we need to check for those teachers who are working here in this institution for more than 15 years. So this is a very good question, and basically here also we need to use the date time function. So date time function is very important, and if you need to go, we have already mentioned, you can visit to our date and time function video, because that is a very detailed video on date and time function. Okay, now the query for this will be like select star from employees table, no, teachers table, sorry, employees by mistake I have told. Now select star from teachers table where higher date, what higher date should be uh, greater than, should be less than, so 15 year. Okay, past 15 year we will check, so higher date should be less than past 15 years. Okay, so higher date should be less than date add, and then date add year. Now here year we will match subtract from the current date. Okay, so year minus 15 comma cast get date get date as date. Okay, and now this is the final query that you need to provide to the interviewer for this particular question. So basically what it is doing, it is checking for those teachers who have been hired before 15 years, or so that we will get the means idea like which of the teachers are getting less than or equals to, because more than 15 years, so more than 15 year we can keep as less than. Okay, now execute this. So here you will find out those employees like David, Michael, Meera, Ajay have joined the higher date is before 15 years. Okay, so these particular teachers are working in this particular institute for more than 15 years. Okay, this is clear. Now move on to the next question. So next what we have, so sixth question. So now the theoretical part we have. So now we will increase our screen length, that is it will be better for you also for seeing and us also. Now increase the length of the video. Okay, now move on to sixth question. So sixth question, what it is telling, can we create a foreign key constant on temporary table in SQL Server? So this is the most frequently asked question. So basically the interviewer will try to know if you have worked in multiple things in SQL, like temporary table you have created, or indexing for temporary table you have done or not. So these are very important questions. So can we create foreign key constant on temporary table in SQL Server? So the answer for this will be like no. Foreign key constants cannot be created on temporary table in SQL Server, and this is because temporary tables are stored in the tempdb database, and foreign key constants require a persistent relationship between tables, which is not possible with temporary table. that exist only for the duration of a session or transaction. Okay, so basically temporary table are existing for a particular session only, so that is why we cannot create a foreign key on that, because that is not persistent table. Okay, now however you can enforce referential integrity manually using triggers or join conditions when working with temporary tables. If you need foreign key like behavior, consider using table variables or permanent tables instead of temporary table. Okay, now move on to the next question. So next what we have, the seventh question. So what it is telling, so do you have to manually delete temporary table? So basically it is not correct. So answer is like it depends. In SQL Server, temporary tables hash temp table are automatically deleted when the session ends. However, if we need to free up resources earlier, we can manually delete temporary tables also using drop table temporary table name command. So okay. Now on the other hand, global temporary tables, double hash global temporary tables remain accessible as long as at least one session is using them. So if you don't manually drop them, they persist until the last session referencing them is closed. Okay, so basically for local and global temporary table, both are having different scenarios. Okay, now move on to the next question. So next what we have, eighth question. So name any three views which are related to query store. Okay, so name any three views which are related to query store. So the answer is like here are three query store catalog view in SQL Server that helps analyze query performance. So these are like, number one is sys.query underscore store underscore query. So it is what it do, so it stores information about queries tracked by query store including execution statistics. So basically these questions are mandatory for those who are trying for a database administrator role. Okay, and for developers also these things can be known. That is a good thing to know about how to means check the performance or execution of your queries and all. So that is a good thing also. Okay, now the second point is sys.query underscore store underscore plan. So what it will do, so it will contains execution plan for queries stored in query store. Okay, now the third one is sys.query underscore store underscore runtime underscore stats. So what it do, so it holds runtime statistics for queries such as execution count, duration and CPU usage. Okay, now move on to the next question. So next what we have, the ninth question. So what it is telling, what do you understand by LQS in SQL Server? So the answer for this is like LQS in SQL Server stands for live query statistics, and it is a feature that allows user to use the real-time execution plan of an active query, providing insights into how the query is being processed. Okay, now the key features of live query statistics are LQS. Number one is real-time execution plan, so displays query progress while it is running. Number second is operator level statistics. So shows detail like row count, elapsed time or operator progress. Now the third point is performance debugging. So helps identify bottleneck in long running queries. And the last point is use sys.dm underscore execute exec underscore query underscore profile dmv internally leverages this dynamic management view for tracking query execution. Okay, now LQS is available in SQL Server 2016 and later versions, and it can also be enabled in SQL Server Management Studio SSMS by selecting include live query statistics before executing a query. Okay, now this is clear. Move on to the next question, and this is the last question. Okay, so what is a query store in SQL Server? So the answer for this is query store in SQL Server is a feature that helps monitor and troubleshoot query performance. It actually like a flight recorder. It acts like a flight recorder for SQL queries, capturing execution plans, runtime statistics, and query history over time. So this allows database administrator to analyze performance, regression track query, plan changes, and optimize queries efficiently. Okay. So some of the key benefits of query store include are, number one is automatic query tracking, stores query execution history and statistics. Number second is plan stability, so helps identify and force stable execution plan. Now the third one is performance insight. So provides built-in report for query analysis. And the last one is troubleshooting. So helps diagnose performance issues caused by query plan changes. Now query store is enabled by default in SQL Server 2022 and later versions, but it can also be manually enabled in earlier versions using alter database, your database name, and then set query underscore store equals to on. So basically these particular commands, query store and these things are used by data administrator, but as a developer it is also good thing to know these particular things, like how your query is getting analyzed or verified, if that has better performance or not. So using these query store and all, we can analyze these things. So if you want, let us know in comment, we will create a detailed video on data administrator parts also. Okay, so thank you for watching. This is it in this particular set. And if you need the table script and data sets, then you can visit to our Telegram channel using this particular scan code, or you will find the link on our channel or in the video also. And do like, share and subscribe in more amount. And thank you for watching. Thank you everyone.